Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Ken's Money Matters once again. And today we're going to be talking about ETFs, exchange traded funds. These are some of the best ways you can invest into the stock market, into the bond market, into the currency market, into commodities market, everywhere. You can use what we call exchange traded funds. What the hell are exchange traded funds? ETFs. ETFs, you hear people talking about ETFs. Simply, ETFs are just a kind of a mutual fund. The only difference with a mutual fund is that they are tradable, just like you could trade any other stocks. So an ETF is just a basket of stocks, right? So in a mutual fund, you also have a basket of stocks. So in an ETF, you also have a basket of stocks. So this basket of stocks, you can buy them together. So you don't have to go selecting each and every one. You can say, for example, instead of choosing Apple, Amazon, Google, all those funny, big companies that you want to buy, you go and find them in one basket, then you buy them together. ETFs basically is a basket of stocks, but the difference is that you can trade them just like you could trade any other stock. So they give you the advantage of being traded and live prices. So during the day, you can basically trade it on and off. So those who want to trade, you can trade ETFs as well. But I'm talking to investors today, and you can invest in ETFs, and you can invest using ETFs. And they're the best ways to invest if you don't want to go through the process of looking for stocks and trying to decide which company is going to do well in the next 10 years, next 20 years, next 15 years. So today we're just going to be talking about ETFs. Why do you invest in them? What are they? How do you invest in them? Where do you find them? What kind of returns are you expecting from the ETFs? And what kind of ETFs do you even have, right? So welcome as usual. Let's get into it, guys. So number one, like I've said, the meaning of ETF is just exchange traded fund. It's a fund that can be traded. It's just a mutual fund that you can trade, but it's a basket of stocks. So it's never like an individual stock. So someone takes a different, a sector, for example. So let's say the technology sector, and they take some of the best companies in the technology sector, then they put that in a basket. Then you go and buy the whole basket. Or let's say someone takes the sustainable or sustainability sector or the environment sector. They put all the stocks that are trading in that area or in that sector in one basket. Or they could even go with the regions as well. So you could say these are for emerging markets, okay? Those who want risks, who want to take more risk, you can go to emerging markets. They put all the major stocks in that emerging markets basket, then you go and buy them. One of the most popular one, of course, is the S&P 500 ETF, okay? Which is called the SPY. It's basically 500 best performing by market capitalization companies in the US. It's put together just like an S&P 500 index, but in this case, it's put together in an ETF. So you can buy the ETF and then you can even trade it on a normal market like you could trade any other stocks. So there's a very effective way of investing because you don't have to go picking stocks. You don't have to go deciding which company do you want to buy. Which company will do well in the next 10 years, next 20 years, next 15 years or so. So it makes your work much, much easier in terms of investing. So you can just decide, for example, myself, I'm invested in the technology sector, I'm invested in the health sector, I'm invested in the financials, I'm invested in consumerism, right? Consumer sector. So it depends on which sector do you want to go into instead of you going to select like individual stocks. So you can mix them up. You can have those stocks that you know will do well as individual stocks, no problem. Or you don't have to at all. But you can then have that place that you're not sure which ones will do well, but you buy them. Right now, we even have ETFs that are into data, for example, into AI, for example. They just group companies that are focused on AI and they put them in one basket. So if that sector does well, you do well. For instance, during COVID, the health sector did really well. If you had a health sector ETF, then you made some good money. This is how you can invest in stocks in a very simple, efficient, and easy way. Now, there are so many advantages to why you should invest in ETFs, and we're going to be talking about that. But I just wanted you to understand how and what ETFs are. So basically, exchange traded funds. Easy. So let's go into why would you want to invest in ETF. So instead of just going and picking Apple, Amazon, Google, Coca-Cola, all these companies that you like, why don't you just go and pick them, or why do you need to invest using an ETF? The reason being is cheaper, number one. So ETFs trade in the market. So you could find you buying the S&P 500, the SPY that I'm talking about, the one that contains the 500 top companies in the US, could be trading at let's just say $400 for each share in that case. So it becomes much, much cheaper for you to actually, or cost efficient for you to buy ETFs. They are much cheaper compared to mutual funds, compared to index funds. They are way, way cheaper. Why? Because they continuously trade, right? So they are continuously traded there, so they are much more cost effective. Okay, that's number one advantage. They are cheaper to buy, they're cheaper for you to actually start investing and acquiring them. The second thing, which is very important, is diversification. If you have a basket of stocks, you are more diversified than if you have just one stock, all your money in one stock, or just one sector, or just one area. just one region, you get more diversified. So you could say, hey, I have this ETF that has Apple, has Amazon, has Google, and all these nice stocks that you have. So instead of you going to select which one is the best, you are already well diversified within that single basket. And then apart from that, you can also be diversified in terms of different ETFs. So you could say, this is technology ETF, good. This is health ETF, good. So you are diversified within the basket, and you're diversified in terms of the different baskets that you're owning. So it helps with diversification. Instead of you going to try, oh, how do I balance things out and make sure I'm diversified? ETFs make that process quite easy for you. And then the next thing is the tax benefits of ETFs. You'll find that you pay less taxes instead of paying lots of commissions and charges and stuff that you're going to be paying when you're trading normal stocks. There are tax benefits when it comes to ETFs. With ETFs, you only pay taxes on the capital gains. Most of the time, you end up paying less tax when you invest with ETFs than when you invest with any other thing or like individual stocks. So the tax benefits are huge as well. These are some of the benefits that you could have if you're investing in ETFs. And there are other benefits you will find out when you start trading them. The fact that you can actually trade them is a huge benefit as well. It can be traded in the market like any other stock. But now you know the benefits, you know what they are. Let's look at some of the top ETFs that people really like and that have been doing well for a long time, and they are ranked based on the assets that they manage. One of them, and the biggest one I mentioned, is the SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF. Okay, so these are some of the Standard & Poor companies in the US, 500 largest companies in the US based on market capitalization. So you find, for example, that under SPY alone, you will have Apple, for example, you'll have Microsoft, you'll have Amazon, you have Tesla, you have Google, you have Berkshire, which is led by Warren Buffett, you have United Health, you have Johnson & Johnson, you have ExxonMobil, some of the best companies, basically. You find that under that, you have some of the best companies you could ever want. So instead of you going for them in different sense, you know, like trying to buy each and every one of them and thinking, okay, will this one be there in the next 10 years? You simply come and buy the SPY ETF and you're good to go. You don't even need to buy anything else. So that's one of the top ETFs, okay? The second one that we have, again, with the good asset under management, is the IVV, the iShares Core S&P 500 ETF. Then we have the VOO, very popular. Most people call it the VOO. It's the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. Then we have the VTI, which is the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. And then we have the QQQ, which is an Invesco QQQ Trust ETF, one of the best one. I have VOO, I have VTI as well. I have SPY as well. Then we have VTV, Vanguard Value ETF as well. And then we have VEA, or VEA, which is Vanguard FTSE Developed Markets ETF. So you see that's looking at the developed markets, for example. Then we have BND, which is Vanguard Total Bond Market. So again, I told you that ETFs can be a basket of, let's say, not just stocks, but also bonds, commodities, currencies, could be minerals as well, could be whatever it is that you want, okay? Whatever it is that you want, everything. And then so we have the BND, which is just bonds, Vanguard Total Bond Market. So for diversification, if you have enough stocks or if you just want to invest in bonds, which are less risky, you could use that ETF as well. Then we have IEFA, which is iShares Core MSCI EAFE ETF. It's an iShares ETF as well. Then we have AGG, again, Aggregate Bond ETF by iShares Core in the US. So these are some of the top ETFs that you'd buy. The most common ones being the SPY, the IVV, the VOO, the VTI, the QQQ, the VTV as well. And the bond one, the Vanguard bond one, is quite big as well. So these are some of the top ETFs that you could actually want to buy. And like I said, you could find that under SPY, you have lots of companies that could be helping you diversify so well. So now you know what ETFs are, you know where to find them. I'm going to tell you again more. You know which ones are the top ETFs in the world. You also know the benefits of investing with ETFs. So now let's look at what are some of the things that people always want to know about ETFs, right? So what are some of the questions you might have, like where do you find the ETFs, for example? That's a very important one. Where do you find them? In the description below, there's FX Pesa. FX Pesa in Kenya. FX Pesa is quite good with all these things. If you want to buy ETFs, you want to invest in international markets, you want to do currency trading, you want to trade stocks, you want to trade the CFDs, contract for differences. FX Pesa, link below. Open your demo account today. Check it out. It's a very good one. There's a live account as well if you want to open that and start investing in ETFs. Nowadays, investing is so easy. So people come asking me, hey, Ken, I know we need to invest abroad, but how do we do it? FX Pesa has made it easy for you. From the link in the description, you can open an account today and start investing as soon as possible. You can reach out to them. You can ask any questions. Use the link below to reach out and open an account. Where do you find them? I've just told you one place where you can find them. What you need to to do is, number one, open a brokerage account. So I'm going to tell you where to find them and how to start trading. So number one is open a brokerage account. I've just told you where to find a brokerage account right now. Okay, so you need a brokerage account. Definitely, that's where you're going to be storing your money. Very important, guys. Make sure you know where your money is going to be, and make sure you do a good research on the brokerage account you're opening. This is like a bank now, because you're going to be putting your money there, so you need to be sure. Then you need to find the ETF that you want to invest in. Okay, you need to say, okay, I want to invest in VU, or I want to invest in VTI, or I want to invest in QQQ, whichever ETF you want to invest in, choose it, go with it, find some reasons why you're investing, not just for the sake of it. Okay, so you can say, I want to invest in the energy sector, I want to invest in the technology sector, I want to invest in consumers, I want to invest in financials, I want to invest in, for example, the AI as well. I want to invest in commodities as well. So depending on what you like or what you want to do, or depending on your investment goals, if you are just, a defensive investor or aggressive investor or just a chilled investor, depending on what you want, choose the sector you like. Again, this also depends on which sector you're interested in. Then buy the ETF. Using the brokerage trading function, navigate to where you need to buy the ETF, then place your trade. Now you can hold on to the ETF as an investor. I would say hold on to that ETF as long as possible. Make sure you're not selling it soon enough. Don't just go trade unless you're trading. But I would say this is mainly for investing, long-term investments. So if you bought QQQ, for example, some years back, you could have good money right now, crazy money. The technology sector short, and people got good money. So that's one area I could get into. The next thing is, people will be asking, do we get dividends? Now, if the stocks under that basket do pay dividends, you will get dividends. Dividends will be paid by the holding company in that case. So you will get dividends. If you want dividend paying ETFs, for example, you will find like Energy XLE, which is Energy Select Sector Fund, the Schwab, the VYM, which is the Vanguard High Dividend Yield Index Fund, VXUX, Vanguard Total International Stock ETF. These are some of the ETFs that will pay you dividends if you want to get some income from your ETF investment. But like I said, focus on long-term growth, focus on long-term investment, okay? And remember, you can sell your ETFs at any time if it is within the trading day. So those who are asking, can I sell at any point that I want to sell it? Yes, you can sell at any point. And this covers some of the most important things about ETFs, guys. You know what they are. You know the benefits. You know some of the top ETFs. You know where to find them. You know how to trade them. You know whether you can sell them. You know how to get the dividend ETFs as well. So start investing in ETFs. ETFs are a very good way for you to start getting that diversification and asset allocation as well. Make sure, if you need some kind of advice, consultation, I'm always here. Ken's Money Matters website, www.kensmoneymatters.com. That's the only place you can reach me. I'm not giving my number on the comment section, so that are scam. You only go through my website. You will find a contact list. There's a form. You can go to my email, or there's a WhatsApp button where you can just reach out to me. But when you're coming to me, I charge for my services. Consultation now, I charge it. Okay, then I can run through your finances on an individual basis. But this is an overview of how and why you should invest in ETFs and how you can make money investing in ETFs and where to find them. I hope this is helpful. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you want me to talk about something, why not? Let me know. See you next time.